Season's greetings from our nation's capital. It's Sean and welcome to our travel channel. And if you're new here, we love everything about the holidays. So we're going to be seeing some of the quintessential things in Washington, D.C. to do during the holidays. But before we begin our journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, follow me as we start our journey at the U.S. Botanical Garden. Their annual Season's Greetings holiday event highlights iconic buildings and monuments all across Washington, D.C., such as the Capitol building right behind me. So let's take a look. It's really amazing. I mean, you can't even tell when you look at it up close that it's made all of plant parts. I mean, look at the craftsmanship, look at all the detail, the windows, and the decoration that's involved with this piece of art. They even have lights on in the building, just like if people are actually working, busy writing bills and memos. The outside garden is really beautiful, but the conservatory is really magical. It's filled with holiday decoration, poinsettias, and winter blooms. So I think I briefly heard you said like most of it's like pine needle, or like I guess what's the base of the house or construction?
Yeah, so the largest models like the Capitol building here behind you, these are going to have a foam core just like this to create the structure of the building. However, the facade and all of the details are going to be made from different natural materials.
Okay, that's cool.
And that's just structural integrity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of our smaller models on the other side, like the Jefferson Memorial, I believe that's entirely natural material.
Oh, nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but just to provide structure to our larger pieces. Yeah.
Now, I assume all of it is like local plants or trees, correct? Or some of it's imported?
I don't believe so. So all of these models are made by a company in Kentucky called Applied Imaginations.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure how they source their materials, but I assume they get everything from all over the country.
Okay.
So on our board here, you know, some of these might be more familiar, like walnuts or acorns, but we also have like banana stems and bamboo roots. So it's something that a bit more out of the way, or a bit more hard to get. Okay.
Well, that's really cool. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's great that they have volunteers all throughout the garden to answer any questions. Of course, we have inquisitive minds, so we had to ask a couple questions about some of the pieces that they have here. I'm sure they included a miniature John and Andrea right in the middle of the conservatory. The figurines look spectacular, amount of detail. They just look remarkable with all the features. They just nailed these figurines. It's really amazing that you can see Thomas Jefferson right in the middle of his memorial. Just all the detail that's in there. It's just really remarkable. It's even really cool. Right on the top, they have a gourd with a stem. They took a little bit of liberty because obviously there's no stem on the actual memorial. I think this one is a little bit more abstract. I would need to see a photo side by side to see this museum to get an idea of how close they got it to resemble. We just entered the tropical forest section, and so far it looks really cool. And they even have an elevated walkway, so we definitely gotta get a bird's eye view of the place. The conservatory is a great place to come on a cold winter day, since it's warm, it's humid, and of course it's free. so it's a great place to warm up a little bit. The views from the walkway are absolutely stunning. I feel like a bird living in the Amazon treetops right now. George Washington had a vision of having a botanical garden for the nation's capital back in the late 18th century, but didn't come into fruition until the 1840s after the Wilkes expedition came back with different plants and seeds. Now, it moved from its previous location to its current location in 1933, where it's located next to the Capitol and right along the mall. It's a great place to see a variety of different plants, tropical plants, orchids, and so much more. And of course, it's free, so it's perfect for the budget traveler. Right outside the main building at the U.S. Botanical Garden is a beautiful train layout, right in the middle of their outdoor space, and it just brings me back to my childhood. What's really cool is they focus on native plants and pollinators that are hypersized. This orchid and bee right behind me, they use different plant parts such as a bamboo root, honeycomb, pine needles, and other parts. JLU travel tip. Get here early. The outdoor garden's open at 7:30 a.m. Obviously, you want to get here before the crowds, and of course, it's going to be filled with excited kids as it's a magical moment for everyone. I think George Washington would be super proud of the gardens of what they've become today. They're free for everyone, and it's great for anyone of any age, and it's a great stop, especially if you're traveling on a budget. But we've only touched the tip of the iceberg for our holidays in DC. You're going to want to stick around as we head to our next stop. The holidays wouldn't be complete without seeing a Christmas market, and DC has a beautiful market in downtown on F Street Northwest, located between 7th and 9th Street, and it's bustling with activity. It's located right near the National Portrait Gallery. Now we're going to go see what we can find here and get in the holiday spirit. Of course, I couldn't resist this picture-perfect opportunity. But we're going to see what else this market has to offer. With over 150 retailers, there's something for everyone. It's really remarkable. You can find something for everyone on the list, and maybe even something for you, like a little treat or snack. It's tasty. Can't go wrong with any cheese here. While the DC market may not be the quintessential German Christmas market, you could still get a hint of it. They have a food stand that you can get a tasty treat or get some food to go. So you can experience it just a little bit. Looks delicious. The market runs from mid-November to December 23rd. Obviously, it gets crowded during the weekends and primetime hours like lunchtime and dinner time. Right next to the market is the Hotel Monaco, which they've transformed their courtyard into a ski chalet, and it's very magical and a great place to escape the crowds, order a nice drink, and enjoy a little bit of food. Cheers. I'm sure the building behind me is a dead giveaway of where we're at, but we just left the Christmas market, which was spectacular. and headed right over to the US Capitol building on the West Lawn. This Christmas tree is one of the best things to see in the DC area, but I'm going to tell you a little bit as we get a little closer to the tree. Every year they choose a tree from a different national forest. This year, this tree is from the Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. What's even cooler about this whole decoration is that all the ornaments are all about West Virginia, and they have reusable and recyclable materials. So you have like a snowman made out of containers and plates with different drawings that represent West Virginia. So let's take a closer look. So I want to take a little bit of time to showcase some of the ornaments on this tree. And in line with 50 plus years of tradition, they are handmade by local communities, organizations, even some scout groups in West Virginia. And they really encompass everything that is wild and wonderful in West Virginia. Anything that you can imagine, flora, fauna, iconic locations, and even the Appalachian culture in West Virginia can be found on this tree. The tree is over 63 feet tall with 14,000 different ornaments, and in partnership with the Forest Service and tradition, the Monongahela National Forest also provides smaller, normal-sized trees for office buildings for the government all across the city. As I mentioned earlier, the Capitol tree is located on the West Lawn, and if you're not familiar with the DC area, just find the National Mall or the Washington Monument, and obviously it's on the west side, so you can't miss it. It's open from dusk to dawn, and it's definitely a must-do to do during the holiday season. But there's probably one more iconic tree to see in the DC area, so let's go check it out. Welcome to the National Christmas Tree located in President's Park in between the Washington Monument and the White House. Started back in 1923 when Calvin Coolidge lit the first Christmas tree. It has become a huge tradition, and we're now on the 101st anniversary. Surrounded by the Christmas tree is the Pathway of Peace, which also has 58 trees that represent each state, territory, and school managed by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. These ornaments were designed by school children. It's really cool to walk along the path to find your home state or a state that you visited or territory just to see the different designs. The 2023 lighting service was just a few days ago. It is a completely free and popular event. If you're interested in attending the event, you'll need to put your name in a lottery system, typically around the beginning of November for the Park Service. So we'll definitely put the link below. Now, they light the tree typically around sunset until about 10 to 11 p.m., but it's super accessible and free for everyone to enjoy. We're wrapping up our evening at the Sculpture Garden at the National Gallery of Art. If you're a little bit more adventurous than myself, you could grab a pair of skates and hit the ice, but yours truly is not as graceful. The holidays in DC are fantastic. I think my personal favorite was the Botanical Gardens, and we definitely got to come back there during a different season. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep on exploring.